Alright, hello YouTube. Welcome to a very special video involving, well, recent Trails issues. As you guys know, this week is around Trails into Reverie release week, which the game came out a few days ago. So, I want to discuss the issues that people have been talking about, at least, so that I get my perspective on this, and see how, I can really explain, but address the issues, okay? Is what I would say. But anyway, first off, Reverie right now, really good game, of course. I recommend it to anyone who play it. But first, let's talk about these issues. We have the recent issues. As for this, apparently a coding issue, which is passed after CS4. Since this game came after CS4 in game development, we have noticing that a lot of new characters having the link ability, link attack, is being bugged right now. So normally when you see link attack stuff with the link levels and everything, that you apparently supposed to get some visual, it's supposed to be something else where the visuals get upgraded and the link abilities get upgraded from over time depending on your partner. And yeah, this is an issue for mostly the newer characters that weren't in CS4, so I'm hoping this gets resolved, but I'm really hoping they resolve this as fast as possible. So anyway, that's the first thing out of the way. Next thing right now we have is, well, if you guys can tell, the NISA online store, if you guys remember that people did a lot of their pre-orders for Trails into Reverie, the limited edition, where it comes with a lot of stuff. I won't get into what the stuff is, since it's basically nearly $100 worth of it. And yeah, and now NISA currently has an issue with the fact that their orders of the Trails into Reverie limited edition were supposed to be picked up from their warehouse, and you were supposed to be getting track numbers. So first off, I already have my tracking number, so let's get that out of the way. The problem is the fact that they didn't ship this out a week before, during the release week, is absolutely just ridiculous in itself, to be honest. Because one, I got my tracking order, finally, on the day it was supposed to be released, which is Friday. Friday morning. This is when I got this. And I'm like, oh, I got my package. Problem is, a few days later, we're supposed to be... There are people who actually, paid extra money for the shipping to be fast. Problem is, again, it still has not moved. This has been the same thing right here since Friday morning. Even I can't believe it. It's still been the same location since Friday morning. It has not shipped. It's been stayed in the same place whatsoever. And people are actually complaining that their orders still hasn't been processed. Also, for guest orders, apparently if you ordered as a guest, apparently you need to have an actual account for some odd reason. Especially when you did pay ahead of time. I paid since October. For some odd reason, I got an email weeks before saying I have to reconfirm this, which I'm like, okay. I'm like, I already paid it, so that's already confirmed. So I'm like, okay, why? Why are they, why is it still, having issues, you know? Everyone's having their shipping issues. Everyone's orders are stuck. A lot of their orders are still not here. Apparently, because of the fact that it's a PS5 issue, a lot of my local stores, of course, don't have the PS5, disc, physical copy, which is for some odd reason weird. Especially for Amazon users. Oh, this one's right here. This thing right here. People didn't get their email until 1.5 days. You placed it back in October 2022. There's a lot of stuff that people have been talking about regarding their issues, of course. That they're supposed to be getting their pre-orders. But the problem is their pre-orders are still either they paid, but they haven't done a thing to really ship it out, which is very weird because it's still in the same location and people still getting their copies. I don't know what the true issue is. Anyway, along with this is the fact that so we had like a tweet involving Hatsu, who is the localizer freelance editor for the Trails series and the Weiss series, and like this person's also a voice actor too. Talking about the Nadia nickname, of course, with Swin is called S, and you know, with the lazy nicknames for everyone else, blah blah blah. If you guys know, like with the miserable sinners, they had their own names or so, but they decided to like minimize it. I think that's kind of fine because of the fact that one, they don't if they want to be called by code names, I was gonna like leave it by itself. You see, including the ones with just C, keeping it out of simple, out of just no laziness or anything. And now, this becomes a bit of an issue, actually, because there's been a recent tweet. So, this person, what is the thought process behind Beauty's Blade? Or was that someone else's call? Heard rumor reasons, but wanted to know for certain. And then, unfortunately, this happened to be a very big deal in a reply. It's intended to be very cringy and a showy title. Of course, Beauty's Blade. For those wondering what the Beauty's Blade is there's a thing for many people who play Kuro fans know Elaine Auclair, she's the sword maiden in the A rank bracer in Calvard, or one of the fastest A rank bracers in Calvard. For those wondering, I am putting out a bit of a. I don't think it's not too much of a spoiler. I think it's just character-wise, but it's not like really directed plot related. But anyway, so with that in mind, the direct name is fine enough, but it's kind of plain in English. Alliteration always helps elevate the title. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. It does not elevate the title. Hold up. So again, helps alliteration to elevate the title. First off, for people who already play Kuro no Kiseki, like me, should know that Elaine Auclair is actually called the Sword Maiden in Japanese because she wields a sword. She's one of the fastest A rank bracers in the game, or in the lore, where it explains in Reverie. Actually, if you keep playing Reverie, but anyway, a lot of her crafts in Kuro no Kiseki is like a maiden's wings. Especially, like, the more you play the game, and the more you, like, play certain characters, the maiden's wings do actually show. Which given the title of, like, Sword Maiden, makes sense for her. Which is completely fine. Like, we had, like characters, like, that were localized, that had the names like Lance Maiden, which is fine for Aryan Road, and then there's Icy Maiden, which is for Claire, if you guys remember Claire from of course the Cold Steel. And like, yeah, the problem with that is I think the name was fine as is. I don't think Beauty's Blade is an actual good name whatsoever. And then there was a reply. There was a bit of discord around it, which is rare, which I think most of fans who lived with the other name for a few years seen already. Supposed to be kind of cringy to her. In a normal title forever, how it focuses on her looks. Yes, for Beauty's Blade, it really focuses on her looks. But the problem is that it's not really a good name, considering the fact that it's focused on her looks. And the fact that the title itself is actually a big deal because, like, one, there was nothing wrong with the title as is. Because, one, look at this reply right here. And some can argue that in the end, it comes down to opinions. And when it's a harmless opinion, no side is wrong. If others disagree, then that's okay. I don't think my interpretation strays from the original intent at all. And they still thankfully had the Japanese text to read. Okay, here's the thing. This was a change that you personally made to the game. And this is not a direct translation issue. This was a direct change that you wanted to put out right there. From the Japanese text that was already fine as is, which is pretty harmless, but you decide to like touch upon it anyway. And then look at this reply. I would also like to add to the fact that the localization do take some time to come out. Yes, we are been aware that localization does take a long time to come out. As the case, it took like nearly 3 years for Reverie to come out. And I think it's only natural that people get used to the names in the Japanese, since that's all they know for you. I'd argue that if the Japanese and English launched closer together, they'd be less discourse. That's a bit of a Falcom issue, but we're not going to touch upon that. I think that even if you were able to, like, cooperate with the people with the Japanese, like, aka Kondo, I think, like, you could have come to an agreement that the name was a big issue. But apparently people are honestly upset. Like this one, hire your localizer to butcher the game on purpose. Why do you have a contract with these people? Kind of plain in English. Okay, then let it be plain. Very unprofessional. Big drama queen. Stop ruining games. Oh my god. And you can really tell how many people are very upset. To be fair, I was also upset. Look at my take on this, actually. I said that when I quote retweeted, I think this confirms that you made the decision to not directly translate, but decide to put your own take on it, which is very, very embarrassing for the localization team. And I said I was going to make a video, aka the video I'm doing now. And, like, people are like, this is not translation. This is transforming into hypocrisy right there. This is transforming to something like, I'll make this my own version. I think the original in Japanese is actually dumb, so I'm gonna put it my own taste on it. Gets destroyed by the entire Kiseki community because what the hell? What the hell? Like, I have nothing against NISA, but this is actually like, you know, well justified for people to be upset. Like, this is not how localization works. Like, this is like unprofessional localization. Like, so this is my opinion. I really think like the contract between NISA and Neon Falcon should be like discontinued. That's my opinion. But if they still continue, regardless, I'll just play the games. But I will like put my own Japanese take on like certain stuff, aka like titles and like translation stuff, like aka etc. But like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with the name change itself. This is the biggest discourse right now. So first off, of course we had just 3 issues. One was basically the link attack stuff, bug, minor, but still big deal. The pre-order stuff for people who are trying to get their pre-orders. My pre-orders is still like awaiting, so like this is like bruh. And then the last one right here is obviously the kind of like people upset at the community that changing the name, which is not a direct translation but a direct change, is actually like, I don't know. And then people can point out there was like some changes in mine, which I don't know, man. I think NISA really dropped the ball on the latest week right here. Now, this is no hate towards them or anything like that, but if you guys want to put your hate towards them, go ahead, which I'm not gonna blame you guys. I honestly would be very upset too if I saw changes like that, which of course there are changes like that because like, one, the changes are already like, you know, significant. But regardless, I want to know what your thoughts in the comment section below to know, are these changes, the recent issues with NISA and Trails into Reverie, a really positive thing or a really, really bad thing right now? Or do we just like, let's just move on and like, this is not a big deal whatsoever? Well, it will very depend because I made this video to inform you guys because of these recent issues that many fans have been having. And it's pretty frustrating for me, especially for me, because, like, one, I wanted to cover this game ASAP, but it turns out my limited edition was not going to come, like, I don't know, like, release day, I don't know if it'll come this week, because, one, it hasn't even moved whatsoever, but anyway, I guess I'll see you guys all in a different issue, and, like, a new, it's whatever, okay, so I'll see you guys all next time.